Welcome back to On the Record. I'm here with Tim Brien at the Enable Summit, and Tim is the director of MPS, or Managed Print Services. I hope that stands for Oki, the printing company.
Uh,
Um,
Absolutely.
so, welcome to the show. First of all, first time on, right?
First time at the Enable show?
At the Enable, but
That's right.
we spoke to you, I guess, back at CompTIA, right?
That's correct. So yeah, we were at the CompTIA show, and that was a great success for us. And supporting the MSPs, we're dedicated to building out this channel in the managed print services side of things. So Enable is a great fit for us. We're working with them as a strategic partner, and we're very excited to be here. Some great partners.
So for most people, they're getting mixed up between what an MSP is versus an MPS. And in your world, you're saying you use those every day interchangeably almost.
Yeah, we love the fact that MPS and MSPs are so, the terms are so close, but I mean really when we turn around and take a look at the managed print services truly is an extension of the managed services. When the MSPs are looking at all the different business that they do on a daily basis, they're managing complete network infrastructures. The only piece left on the network that they're not actually managing is the printers. So eventually, as much as the term managed print services is evolved and is prevalent in today's world, we're going to see a lot more of everything just becoming true managed services, and that's just one more piece of the pie that they're going to be turning around and bringing on board, much like they're doing with cloud services, desktop support, network services, that sort of thing.
So you've been in this business for about 13 years. Maybe you can answer this question for me because it's one that has always been a mystery to me, where a VAR will go out or a channel partner will go out or a managed service provider and they'll spend tons and tons of time on selling a printer, and they might make $20 on it, and then they'll service it for free, but they won't sell paper, they won't sell the ink, they won't sell because that's beneath them, where not only will it give them recurring revenue, it gives them a reason to go in to talk to their customers, and more so, it's got higher margins.
That's the interesting thing to me. A lot of people when I come to these shows, they don't understand what type of business managed print services really is. And more so, they don't understand the profitability that surrounds it. Most of our partners are seeing anywhere from 35 to 40% margins on the products going out the door. And when they turn around and look at just selling a printer at 3%, 5%, when you're turning around and looking at a full managed engagement, what ends up happening is you end up getting more around the 35, 36% margins on the hardware. And when people turn around and look at the consumables, well, that's beneath me. The consumables is a huge reoccurring revenue stream. And if you have a good facilitation partner for you, much like what we're doing at Oki, is we're taking care of all of the heavy lifting for our dealers. So when a dealer comes onto the Oki Tool Managed Print program, they don't have to do that stocking of toner cartridges, sending it out to their customers' network. It's all facilitated for them by the back-end program. We bring in automation into the whole piece. So when we turn around and look at should it be below them? No, it shouldn't be beneath them, because at the end of the day, that is where the true profit lies.
But not only the profit, but think about it. So you have the profit part, then you also have, from your customer's point of view, they're going to be upset with you because they're out of that cartridge on it when they have a proposal to do or something like that. And then the third thing is that they're opening up the door to every other VAR out there or every other channel partner out there to come into their customer and say, we'll just sell you the toner. And the next week they say, you should be tying your printers together with a hub here or whatever it happens to be. And before you know it, they're the ones that are getting the account, and you're losing the account. And you go, but I've had such a great relationship with them.
And that's what the MSPs have been really missing over this last few years, is they don't turn around and take into consideration the massive amount of business that is available through their partners that they already have today. And when we turn around and look at how does that partner interact and what exposure do they have by letting other people in the door, quite frankly, the MSPs need to turn around and take over everything within the environment, because you stated that the VAR is being a potential suitor or competitor from a standpoint of trying to get their customer away from the MSP. The other thing that's coming out is the fact that a lot of the standard copier guys who have been, selling toner cartridges, copiers for a long period of time. They're now into managed print services. So not only are they selling the copiers, but they're also selling the printers, they're selling the supplies, the service, but now they're even getting into managed services. So, if you turn around on August the 4th, one of the large copier guys by the name of the Gordon Flesh Company, they're based out of Ohio, and they turned around and announced that they've just gone into IT services. So when you're turning around looking at $100+ million a year copier dealer that gets into this service, now the MSP now no longer just has the competitor from the channel side that they're normally used to dealing with. Now they have to turn around and look to say, okay, well, who's my new competitors coming in? And those new competitors have a lot of money. They're not coming into this in a small way. When they're investing in this, they're investing with the fact that they have 100+ sales reps. They have established relationships. They have IT support back in their facility, and they're going to be the new wave of competition. So the MSPs really need to turn around and finish that piece of the pie and bring that last section in, which is supplying the ongoing maintenance on the printer. If they don't have the people to do it, they need to have a partner like Oki where we turn around and nationally support, service, deliver all the infrastructure for them, but they need to bring that device under contract. Because if they don't have that under contract, they are letting in the VARs, they are letting in the copier guys who are getting into this.
And they're letting down their customers.
Exactly. The customers really are looking for, the good old expression of one throat to choke is true. Yeah, exactly. We're at the point in when we look at all of the different requests that are coming in from large-scale customers, small, mid-sized business. They're no longer happy with dealing with 4 or 5 different companies. They're looking for the capability of turning around and dealing with one organization. It's going to supply them their paper. It's going to supply them their toner, their service, their network infrastructure. Gone are the days of having siloed sales techniques. So the MSPs really need to expand that out to take that into consideration.
So the last point I'll bring into this is that one of the big problems with managed services is that you don't have that same relationship. You're losing that relationship with the customer because you don't see them as much. It's all done remotely. They don't understand what you're doing. They don't know where the value really is. And you're doing so much proactive, which is great overall, but the customer doesn't see it. Like it used to be, you came in there and they would come, they'd have a key to the door, and they'd come in there and the customer would leave at 6 o'clock at night or 7 o'clock at night and come back in at 8 o'clock in the morning and feeling like, oh my goodness, he's still here. And that might go on for 3 days. That doesn't happen anymore, so they don't have that type of relationship, that trusted business advisor type of relationship. If they were, to put somebody on the road who can do some of the stuff, to come in there and just say, here we're here to hand in your to make sure all your printers are working right and put them together, and here's the toner that you need, and here's the paper that you need. A person would easily pay his own way, but not only that, it's one more way to say, and by the way, is there anything that you need? Is there anything that we can help you with? Here's a box of chocolates for Christmas, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah. I wish I had customers that were sending me boxes of chocolates for Christmas, but you're absolutely correct. When we turn around and look at it, the automation and the new capabilities within the software applications are really turning around and allowing us to do a lot more for the customers. And by doing more for the customers, you do end up having less touch points with the customers. Gone are the days of turning around and doing just a toner cartridge and delivering it to the person's office, hand delivering it. Now everything is automated on the back end. So before the customer even knows that they're going to need a toner cartridge, our system's already sent out 1, 2, or 3 cartridges based on their actual usage and page coverage and trending data. So yes, you do lose that touch with the customer. The important thing is, on a managed environment, you need to address that with the customer. They need to know that you have turned around and taken all of this off their plate, and in the selling of this, you need to tell them that we're going to be automating all these things for you. We're going to take your pain away, but by doing so, what all the MSPs and all the people who are getting into managed services, managed print services should be doing on a regular basis, and I feel that a quarterly basis is a good time. They should be doing a review with the customer to say, listen, here's where we promised to get you. Here's where we're at in our automation, and here's where we're at in taking away your pain. So in our program, we give people executive summary reports, we do analytics for them, and we actually give people scorecards. So when at the beginning of the contract, they turn around and say, okay, you're at an F or a D or a C. We're bringing you up to an A in an optimized state. And then what we need to do is consistently go back to those partners or our customers and say, listen, here's what I've done over the last 30 days. Here's what I've done over the last 60 days. And then you're going back from having just a conversation on, oh, I'm here to fix your printer. Oh, I'm here to fix your computer, to now we're having a true business conversation. We've identified what we've done in the past for you and where do we need to go? What are the new initiatives that you want to talk about with the company? And that brings in a higher level of selling and servicing to the customer. So the ongoing touch points really should be migrating from I'm on site to here's what I've done for you, and now where do we need to go strategically in the future? Because if there's one thing that we do know is business is always going to progress. Business is always going to change. So that's an important thing to keep in the back of our minds as we're servicing our customers. They're going to consistently need new services. The market, unfortunately, or fortunately, is always bringing out new applications, cloud-based services. Even in the print industry, we have a lot of cloud-based printing techniques, storage techniques, and that can all be brought into a managed print service engagement. And those are just add-ons that you can consistently talk about in that quarterly review session. But it just keeps you right there in front of the customer.
So if you think about it, though, since you've been in the business and almost, well, maybe even the beginning of 31 years ago when I got in here, we've always talked about solution selling, but we've always delivered products.
Correct.
Do you think we're now turning that?
I think we're getting closer to that. I still don't believe that we're fully giving the solution sell, and the follow-through truly is more of a product-centric delivery. I think that once people get more into managed services and managed print services and the collab and the turning around and getting those two to actually move together, I think what's going to end up happening is we will deliver more of that in the future of the solution sell. And it really comes down to also how we turn around and actually look at all of the different sales techniques and the analysis that we do at the beginning. Because if you just walk in and just look at the printers, look at the copiers, look at the computers, well, you're not getting into their true business needs. So people need to really look into the business needs and then develop a full-on proposal.
And to do that, they have to understand more about the industry that they're in and the apps that are available and all. They really have to become a trusted business advisor.
Absolutely. And the other thing that people need to do is look to your partners. The partners have, if you look at Oki, we turn around and put huge amounts of resources on the human side into supporting our channel. So we have software specialists, we have management service specialists, we have internal account managers, we have internal onboarding specialists, and they help people walk them through getting involved with management services. What do you sell? What are the capabilities? And all the different MSPs, management service people, should be coming back to the OEM manufacturers or going back to their partners on a regular basis and saying, okay, I've gotten to this point, kind of like we do with our customers. We do that quarterly review. We should be doing that with our MSPs and MPS people too, and saying, okay, now that you're able to deliver X services, now are we ready to move forward? At what point do we turn around and put mobile printing into all of our customer base? Gives you something else to go back in that quarterly review and talk to the customers about. And the great thing about it is everything does pretty much lead back to product. It leads back to hardware. And what we're trying to do is sell more solutions, sell more things, and then what ends up happening at the end is we end up getting more hardware in the back end or more software or more sales is what we're trying to do. Deeper and wider has to be the way to go in your accounts. It's very expensive to go out and procure new accounts to any organization. There's a cost for that.
It's about 20 to 1 over selling to an existing customer.
Exactly. It's incredible. So when you turn around and look, how much time does it turn around and take you to learn a new technology, but then you already have the relationships with 10, 20, 100, 1,000 customers to just populate that into your customer base. It's just the deeper and wider strategy has to be something that people look at. And when we turn around and look at that, the best time to do it with the customers is on those quarterly reviews.
Sounds fabulous. Thank you for being on Grassroots.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the time again.
Take care.